direct for here.
Okay, that's cool. So I hope everything is doing. I hope everyone is doing well. I hope all of you had a very good week. If you did, wonderful. If you didn't, well, we have a long weekend, so we can recover. I'm going to write like 3 different things. All right. So let us see the first one. We're gonna put this higher in order to have more space. That's gonna be useful for all of us. Listening. So let us picture this. Welcome to the ones that are joining now. Okay, so we're gonna draw a line right here, right? Well, another line right here, and another line right here. Let us say that this is the audio, this is the listening. And let us say that we are going to concentrate in everything. See, we want to understand everything, all parts of the listening, and want to have a global understanding. A global understanding. Let us now go to the next lines. This is also the listening, right? But see, let us picture here. I'll actually write sentence. 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 Welcome. What's up? What's up? Now let us do this, and now let us go for this one. Another one, right? Like the same right here. This is the word but. This is a silence. This is, for instance, any ideas of what this can be?
A linking phrase?
Yes. Would you give me an example of that, or?
Regarding to that, blah, blah, blah.
Regarding that. All right, very good. So what we are picturing is how the listenings have to be avoided, and how we have to just picture the listening and try to see the listening from another perspective, from a more visual perspective, in order to identify our mistakes better, and in order to project and focus on the right aspects that are going to help us to increase our score and to do better actually in the listening, to gain more control, to be more precise, to be more accurate in the way that we just detect information, and actually in the way that responded. Is it important to understand all? When we are listening to the audio, is it important to try to understand all this? See, we just don't consider the sentences, right? And forget about the sentences. We want to try to understand all this. Is that important, that we understand the global understanding? Would that be important for us?
Not so much.
Not so much, right? Because we are not looking for the global understanding. Global understanding of a listening, understanding everything, will have more to do with knowledge. If we have to understand everything and give an answer regarding to that, to the whole part that we have listened, we are working in something that is not really what IELTS is looking for. IELTS is looking for the specifics, see, with like sentences. These are the sentences concentration, right? Concentrating sentences. Sentence, concentration. And this is actually the transitions. So then we have to keep in mind that, okay, so I have to concentrate myself in actually the sentence itself. And then I have to pay attention to the transition of the, see, There are going to be transitions that are going to be marking the ending of one idea, one sentence. Let us go then into more specifics. And another one that is going to, another transition that is going to mark the ending of that sentence and the beginning of the next sentence, the ending of that sentence and the beginning of the next sentence. Therefore, these are three important aspects to take into account. And why do I picture this first? Why this is the first part of this? Oh, okay, yeah, good, excellent. If you have a group in which you are practicing or sharing knowledge, whatever, like getting together for speakings and all that, that's a wonderful idea. Okay, so these three aspects are important because this is the beginning. This is the starting point. We sometimes, why do I picture this? Even though, because of this, even though we know the strategy, even though we know what we have to do, we still forget to do it. So sometimes because we become a little bit nervous, sometimes because we are a little bit worried about our results, or we haven't had enough good results in the last listenings, and this is partially or completely conditioning our readiness or our preparation, or the way that we should prepare ourselves for the next audio, for the next listening. That is why sometimes we forget. So don't forget this. Don't forget that you always need to be aware that the strategies are going to make you improve your score. And sometimes, especially when you go to the real test, when you go to the real exam, you tend to sometimes forget all the strategies. And so, well, when I ask sometimes the students that finished already their exam, and they give me some feedback about their exam, they would say, oh, I just got completely nervous and blocked, and I didn't use the strategies. So this is something that we have to be aware, very aware. We are doing this for us to get ready for the listening. And when we are in the real test, this is something, and this is what we have to do. Therefore, just try to detect when sometimes you're not applying the strategies, when sometimes you're just listening for information, but you're not using the tools that we have provided you with in order to actually do it better, more efficiently and more effectively. All right, so that's important to take it away from our equation. This doesn't go. We don't need to global understanding. Now let us go to parts that are specifics and parts that are important to pay attention to. We are going to highlight this, all right? Let us erase. Let us highlight the second part of it. Then let us go to the sentences. Let us write here like 3 sentences there. We have a sentence. Then we have another sentence. And let us say that we have one more sentence right here. Good, so we have those 3 sentences. It's important also to take control and understand also what means to control of a sentence. When we talk about the sentences, we have to try to visually picture what a sentence would be. What is the system that we use to actually understand when someone says something to us? When someone says something and we try to understand what the person said. The first thing that happens is that when the person says something, we imagine what the person said. So when someone just, are you going to the gym today? So that's a question. But then when someone asks me if I am going to the gym today, I don't tend to think too much about those words. I try to come up with an image. Where where does this image come from? When we look at a sentence, let's take a look at this sentence. You know, a sentence is conformed by words, and words are actually very important in order to understand the sentence, but not only the words themselves, but the results of them. For instance, important words that we have to listen to when we pay attention in the sentence, the important words that we have to pay attention to are the verbs, the adjectives, and also some nouns. See, some specific nouns, a name, a place. Sometimes not all the nouns would be important for the answer, but some of the nouns actually are the answer. In a lot of occasions, the answers are not the verb of the adjective. The verb of the adjectives are the vectors we need to catch in the sentence in order for us to understand the meaning, and in order to understand that this meaning is what I'm looking for. Therefore, all the sentences will have different verbs, different adjectives, and different nouns, right? And that will just replicate in all the cases with, of course, different participants. Therefore, now we have the clear picture and a clear idea about how everything is done. A sentence is something that I'm going to imagine. How am I going to imagine this? I am going to listen to the verb, the adjective, and the noun, and those words together are going to recreate that image. That image is the idea that I'm looking for. Is the idea. I'm being very technical in the approach to this, because some of these aspects that I am actually showing are going to make sense to you in a particular way, and then you're going to be able to say, "Well, actually, that makes sense to me." I never realized that when I'm listening to an idea, I'm listening to verbs, adjectives, and nouns as the most important parts of that sentence, of that idea. Why are we doing all this? I'm going to give you the response later. But first of all, we are just taking a close look on how the listening is composed by. I mean, what are the aspects that we need to just pay attention, some more than others for different cases. We all have different perception patterns, and we all understand things. Some of you would understand some parts of the listening is better than others. However, even if that's the case, we can still work on a strategy that is going to actually help us to make this better, to improve it. Therefore, we pay attention to a sentence, but we know that we need to pay attention to the adjective, the noun, to the verb, to the adjective, noun, in order to recreate that image, which in terms is my idea. What is an idea? Idea is meaning. And that, finally, is what you are looking for, the meaning of the sentence. Why this? Why this is important? When we are listening in our own languages, when we do listen in our own languages, what we pay attention when we listen is not actually to the grammar part of this. What we pay attention is to, when we listen to a verb, we're paying attention to the action of the sentence. When we pay attention to the adjective, we're paying attention to a characteristic. When we pay attention to the noun, we are paying attention either to the object or the subject of the sentence. Therefore, these are really the elements that we are paying attention to. When we are paying attention to a sentence, we must concentrate in the sentence itself, in the way that, is this sentence trying to communicate mainly an action? Is this sentence trying to communicate mainly a characteristic? Is this sentence concentrated in something or someone specific? pay attention, related to that characteristic or related to that action, that's the key. Now we are really unfolding and finding the code of what a listening is in English, basically, right? In any language, actually. Therefore, that is important. You can pay attention to the verbs. You can identify verbs. You can identify actually adjectives, characteristics of things. But what you really need to pay attention is how well I am transporting or transferring these words, this information into the meaning, okay? That is why it is truly important to pay attention to this. There are two things that are very, very, very important. And this could be like a homework, okay? So you can take this as a homework. Let us say that you go back to a test that you already did. Let us say that you're going to start practicing this to become better at controlling this. Why am I saying this? And this is really, truly super important. We are working with abilities. Let us put these abilities into basketball, all right? Just any sport, but let us talk about basketball. Let us say that you are going to play basketball every Sunday. And then when you are, during the weekend, then you go and play with your team and just every Sunday you play basketball. Now, say that you finish your game on Sunday and the next game is on the next Sunday. Let us say that you already finished and then you don't do anything during the week and just go straight and play on the next Sunday. See, there is no training, there is nothing, as you just go and play. And then you finish your game, win or lose, doesn't matter. You go and then play the next Sunday and the next Sunday and the next Sunday. If I am playing Sunday, right, and I'm not basically training, right, do you think I can increase my level of performance or my level of result, the personal accuracy and professionality in the way that I do it in the sport that I'm practicing? See, I don't do anything during the week. I just go to the next game and I go to the next game. Do you think something will change in my results, in my own form of doing the sport? Am I going to be better like from one week to the next, or nothing? Something really is going to change that much?
Probably is not going to change.
Exactly, right? So probably we are not going to cause the level of change that we are expecting, or at least we are not going to cause the level of change that is going to be fast, that is going to be like rapid. We need to change quickly. And this is something that we have to do. So if I do one listening test on Monday, practice test, and then I don't do anything, and then on the next Monday, I do another listening, and I just don't do anything, and I do another listening, and another listening, and another listening. Just practice itself is going to take me to a 0.5 after how many tests? 5, 6, 7 tests? Probably, right? After like 5 or 6 tests, as an average, I'm going to be able to go from that 6 to 6.5. Sorry. How many weeks have passed already? Approximately 2 months, or close to 2 months already. So 2 months to go from 6 to 6.5. Don't you think that this is too much? I think it's excessive. Why? Because we are not paying attention in controlling what we are listening. And we are not using any tool to increase our level of ability or ability building technique that is going to help us to increase that score in a short amount of time. Therefore, number one, know what you have to do. Know what you are good at and what you're not. And this is very important. Therefore, as an exercise, number one, I'm going to make you, besides your, I know that you have classes, and I know that your teacher is giving you homeworks, and I know that you have to comply with those homeworks. So what I'm asking you is something like, seems to be a little extra. I know it. However, if you have the time and you can make some time and start working by, doing some exercises that I'm going to give you now, I think you are going to improve your approach to the listening immensely. I'm not saying, see, you are taught strategies in your classes. You must keep those strategies, because those strategies of your classes are the key. What I'm teaching you now, what I'm giving you now is complementary information and tips and tricks that you can use in order to improve that kind of capacity that you have, to try to accelerate the level of improvement in our skill development. And this is what we are trying to do in this class. There are many different forms to do this, but I like to point out to just a few of them. My idea is to try to give you some information in order for you to just visually see that, oh, okay, so this is not happening with me. I'm not doing this. Oh, I never realized that the sentences are composed mainly by or. The most important words in a sentence in order to understand the meaning is to pay attention to the verb, to the adjective, to the noun. All right? That is important. What this noun will be can be an important object, the hospital, can be an important person, the subject, right? The doctor. So that's important to pay attention to. There are, in every single sentence, there are always three very important detectable elements that we must be aware of, and we always have to chase. And these are the verb, the adjective, and the noun. That noun would be an object, something, like, for instance, the university, the subject, which is actually can be a professor, a student, or someone specific to which, to who actually, or which the listener is referring to. So that's why we always have to pay close attention to what we're listening and start becoming accustomed to identify these words as what. Maybe the beginning training with these words is going to be healthy, but later we need to be able to transform these words into what we really need to catch, right? The action, the characteristic, the person, the thing that the sentence is referring to. Therefore, there are always three elements in a sentence that are crucially important, that are super important. Now, this is important. Will the sentences always have these three elements? No. And this is actually your advantage. You don't have to be dealing with these three elements in all the sentences. Sometimes you're going to find sentences that have only two elements. This two, or this two, or this two, or this two. There are no more than 6 combinations, no more than 6 combinations of important words in a sentence. Therefore, you know that the pattern is not that wide, it's not that big. If you concentrate on identifying, if you go back to previous sentences, to previous tests, and you just go back to a test that you already did and start listening to these audios and start identifying like ideas, meaning, you can actually pretty much concentrate and you can actually pretty much understand this in this way. I am going to now outline a technique that you are going to use. And this technique can be used at any time. You don't have to use it if you don't want to, or if you don't have time, it doesn't really matter. However, if you make yourself some time, apart from what the teacher is giving you, The teacher in your classes will give you a homework. That is your priority. You know, I already got some messages from my teacher telling me, what are you doing? I mean, I'm giving homework, but they're saying that you gave a homework and that you don't do. My homework is like second, okay? Your teacher's homework is the most important. This is a support class and it's giving you extra material. It's giving you extra techniques, extra tricks, whatever you call it, for you to complement what you are doing in your classes. So the class is more important, not this. This can be important to a higher extent, maybe, or to some extent, but actually this is complementary to what we do in the classes. Perfect. So this class will be then the key. Wonderful. So just take a look back to this information. Just try to like think about this. Thinking about this will make you find your formula. Will make you find a better approach. Will make you find a better approach to what you have to actually pay attention to. So this is first. Now, let us do an exercise. And I think this is going to be a very, very healthy exercise to improve meaning, understanding in the listening. Because the problem sometimes is meaning. And as we don't get the meaning, I mean, the problems can be many, right? I mean, we're not saying that there's only one problem in the listening. There can be different problems. But this exercise is quite useful in order to improve our understanding and in order to make our audition focus, identify different aspects of the listening individually. Then you will become more inclined to actually do this then later more naturally. And if you become more natural in the way that you listen to English, and on top of that, you include the strategies, then you become pretty much powerful in the listening. You become pretty much more in control. And this gets very close to what we usually do in Spanish. So it's like, oh, I understand all the ideas in Spanish. I understand all the meanings of the sentences. Wonderful, wonderful. So you are natural in your language. So this exercise will help us to shorten the distance that we have to become more effective and accurate just because this is English, all right? So exercise, or what we call something that like this. So you're gonna go to previous tests. It's like go to previous test, right? Then next, concentrate only, select your audio, select an audio. Select an audio. That can be a part of the listening or so. Then you're going to do is you're going to listen to it like this. We are going to listen to it like in this way. Okay. Wait. Select sentences only. Remember that all this is done through sentences, not everything, right? So you're going to select an audio and then listen to it and then listen to the sentence. Listen to the sentence and identify which word gives the main, which words gives the main collaboration to understand the meaning of the sentence better. The sentence better. This is the first part of the exercise. So listen to the sentence and find out. You have, see, it's important that you're not doing the listening, you're just practicing and you are training yourself. Therefore, we won't worry about about like understanding the answer. No, this is nothing to do with the answer. This is training. Therefore, listen to the sentence and identify which word gives the main collaboration to understand the meaning of the sentence. Why do I say the main collaboration and I don't say the word that gives the complete meaning? Because only one word doesn't give the complete meaning of the sentence. Okay, just one word is not enough for me to say, oh, this word gives the complete meaning of the sentence. It is a combination of words. And usually in a sentence, it's a combination between 2 and 3 words. And this combination is always between, pay attention, the verb, the adjective, and the noun. And this is what you need to do. So my question is, what are you good at in this case? Are you good when you need to listen to the characteristic? Are you good when you are going to find out the action of the sentence? Are you good to identify someone or something that is important in the sentence? This is very important. Why? Because you are going to become accustomed to point out and become good at identifying the 3 most important elements of a sentence, the 3 most important elements that are conforming the meaning of a sentence. It's very important. Now, okay, so you listen to the sentence, right? You have the audio, and then also you have the script. You need to check the script just to make sure that you're doing the right thing sometimes. Therefore, you listen to the sentence and you say, okay, which is the word that gives the most important part of the meaning? Which is the word that is guiding me to understand this sentence better? Which is the word that is guiding me to understand the meaning of this sentence better? One more time, write down. Which is the word that is giving me or making me understand this sentence better? Not necessarily the complete meaning of the sentence, but the word that is like the leader, the most important word in the sentence, so that I understand, or I can have a fast track understanding of that sentence better. Is that clear? Okay, just like we just need one word here, one word. That clear? Now, what we're going to do, what we're doing here is like we are mixing some things. We are mixing ability work, and also we are mixing something that is more pedagogical. All right. Therefore, this work sometimes is composed by 2 different things: skill building and also using a more pedagogical form to actually acquire that kind of skill faster, right? So that's why sometimes I need to give this homework and I have to show you things on how we're going to do first this, and then second this, and third this. So we are going to do this in 3 steps, okay? We're going to use 3 steps. This is the first step. Listen to it and understand and try to catch the word. Now, oh, I am not sure if the word that I just got is actually the word that is the main word of the sentence. Okay, but apart from that, the word that you picked and the word that you identified made you understand this sentence better? Yes. Now check that with the script. Is the word that you got made you understand the sentence better? Yes, actually it did. I could understand it better with this word. Perfect. That word should be a verb, an adjective, or someone or something, the noun. If the word that you understand as the word that make you is like the leader of the sentence is one of those 3, we are okay. We are fine. You might say at this point, yes, I review the sentence, but actually is the next word the most important, not the one that I just, okay, but my question is, did you understand the sentence better when you located that word? Yes, I did. Perfect. We are doing okay. We are in the right track to actually understand better, right? So the important is this. The important is to be able to find one word that is going to make me understand the sentence better. And we are going to do this with all the sentences that we listen. In this way, I'm going to be using a vector. I'm going to be using a specific tool to understand the listening better. I'm using a handle, see, a handle, right? Actually, no, a walking stick. ¿Cómo se dice? How do you say walking stick in Spanish? The walking stick. You know what people that are like.
El bastón.
El bastón. Okay, el bastón. And after all those years, like, you know, the countries are forgetting the Spanish sometimes. But yes, so what you're going to do is you are using a specific word, and you are using a specific word to look for meaning and to make you understand meaning better. Because what is the mistake that the majority of students commit is that when they need to accelerate their understanding of English, what they do is they try to concentrate in the complete sentence, but they try just to understand. When we use a specific word, whether this is going to be the action, the characteristics, the subject of the object of the sentence, then you are using a vector that is going to make you accelerate the understanding of the sentence. Therefore, you are going to be better directed. You are going to be directing yourself. And I mean, the process of this is going to make me be better directed to understand the sentences better, faster, and more accurately. Because I will be able to point out to a specific, I will be like conditioned, pre-programmed to understand those words. You are working in acquiring a mechanic. You are using a tool that is going to make you understand the listening better. Okay, second step. This is one step, right? You are going to listen then to the same sentence again. Listen. Okay, I need to remember to trash those things because I always like put it back in the box and then they're like, nah, see, this is, no, it's okay. Listen to the same sentence again. So listen to the same sentence again, right? It's like, okay, I'm gonna listen to the same sentence again. And then the second time you listen to, you need to try to pay attention to something specific. You say, okay, of course that you are going to listen to that one word again, but try not to concentrate in that one word now. The second time, you need to try to concentrate in any of the word, that can also be helping to understand the meaning. So listen to the same sentence again and identify. Another word that is given or is helping, another word that is helping to understand the idea, the main idea, to understand the meaning, better. There you go. That is the second thing that you need to do. So we need one word and we need another word. Another word. Now pay attention to the escalation of this. Now, this word must be a verb or a adjective or a noun, a person or something. And this word also must be a verb, an adjective, or something, a noun. So both words have to be. There you go. So for instance, we can say they get up at 6 a.m. and start their busy days. They get up at 6 a.m. and start their busy day. All right. When I say this, what kind of word like that calls your attention when we read this? They get up at 6 a.m. and start their busy day. What are the words that seem to be important in the sentence? Just give me one.
Get up.
Get up.
And that is?
A verb.
What then the next sentence? What another word can be like important?
Busy day.
All right, so, you know, yeah, day is an object. But what about like busy? Busy, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that is
An
it?
adjective. Adjective.
All right, very good. Is there any other word that can also, see, get up, busy, get up, busy, get up, busy. Think about, just pay attention. Okay, what I'm teaching you right now, it might be a little bit difficult to be understood in the beginning, but it's very important. So let us now think about these two words only. Get up, busy, get up, busy. They are a very important piece of information there because it's like, get up, busy. Is there something else that will help us understand that better?
6 a.m.
Yes, the hour.
Start.
Get up, 6 a.m., busy. Now we can make a relation and now we can say, okay, there are three elements in this sentence. I know there might be some other words like start also, but okay, so some of you will pick 6 a.m. start busy. 6 a.m. start busy. Where are we? We are in the same. I mean, like get up or see, this is also a verb. So we are still in the formula because you pick to start 6 a.m. start busy. 6 a.m. start busy. 6 a.m. get up busy. Okay, that's a little bit different. One is like to getting up and the other is to start. It's like they're not far away from each other. But what I'm trying to give you is to understand the elements and the important elements of any single sentence. And this is going to help you, this is going to help you identify specifics when you're training and identify things that are going to make you understand faster because you are going to condition your mind to work in a specific form in order to identify and detect the elements that are important. In the beginning, in the first 2 or 3 weeks, this can be really annoying because it's like, oh, I gotta do this. But then later on, after a couple of weeks, you start like identifying that, okay, now all this work that I'm doing manually in 2 or 3 weeks will start becoming more automatic. See? You will start functioning more naturally in this with this behavior. So in 2 or 3 more weeks, you will force. Who has got the dog there that it needs to go on silent? All right, thank you. Then you will be more. You start doing this manually, And then you are going to be programming yourself that in a couple, 2 or 3 weeks, actually, you are going to start behaving in this way, paying attention to these words more naturally. When you start doing this more naturally, when you more like not really paying attention and forcing this thing to work, then you are going to be more native. Of course, that not at the native side, 100%, but you are going to be approaching a more natural way to do this. And actually, you are going to be conditioning yourself to listen to the words that are important in order to understand the meaning. How much time you need to give to this work? 2 weeks, 3 weeks maximum. But then after 3 weeks, you need to start working on different aspects of the listening. You cannot be doing this like, eternally. I mean, you can, but actually we don't have much time. So if you dedicate to do this, if you dedicate yourself to do this a half hour, right? Every day will be fine. 1 hour every 2 days, 1.5 hours every 3 days, 2 hours every 4 days, and so on. No, I only have the weekend. Okay, like 4 hours in the weekend, 2 hours on a Saturday, and then 2 hours on Sunday. This is an extra work. This is going to make us then have a better understanding. Now, see, now, did you get the point? This, what I'm giving this is the basics. It's the basics of, oh, okay, now I understand why my teacher is making me do this. See, get up, 6 a.m., busy, verb, noun, adjective. Then start, 6 a.m., busy, verb, noun, adjective. The 3 most important words. And you are training yourself to get them. So when you do this exercise in the part 1, this one word that you catch before should be a verb or an adjective or a noun, something or someone. It must be, okay? It must be. You need to force yourselves to find that word. Then when you do it for the second time, you listen to the sentence for the second time, then you don't worry about the word that you already found. I mean, just don't avoid like paying attention to the word. Try to look for a second word that is going to also make you, and that second word has to be one of those 3 words, a verb. Let us say that the first word that you got was a verb. Then when you listen for the second time, so when you do the work for the second time, the word that you pick next should be yes, Jesus.
Adjective or noun?
Exactly. Should be an adjective.
I raised my hand because of a question.
Okay, just a second. I'll just give you the word right now.
Okay.
Then the next word I should get should be actually adjective or noun. Now, this is important. The sentence that I am listening might not have the other elements. At least one of these elements, most likely the element that will be by force is the noun. I mean, there's going to be something. There is going to be someone in that sentence. Difficult that is no one. If it is a very short, like comma, one thing, and that's it. This was, but what you still have the noun. In the majority of the cases, you still have the noun. Sometimes it might be the case that the sentence doesn't have the adjective. See it? But then you're going to be able to find the noun. This is going to make us work, and this is going to actually help us increase our speed in understanding meaning. You do this manually in the first 2 weeks, and by the end of the 3rd week or during the 3rd week, you should be able to find and feel that things have changed or things are changing. You are understanding the listening better. You are able to understand better because you're training to do this. So this is what is your level of evaluation? And now you can evaluate yourself in your second bet. In the first one, it is very likely that it's going to be a verb, a adjective, or a noun. It's very likely. There's almost, there are no chances that we can fail in this first one, because then it's going to be there. But then in the second one is where you really prove yourself, like, oh, is the second one what? So when you are listening to the second one, try to focus in the other two words. If you got this as a verb, when you listen for the second time, try to intentionally see, like, think about, oh, I need an adjective or a noun here. I need an adjective or a noun. And if this was an adjective, then when you listen for the second time, you say, oh, I need the verb or the noun. All this work is going to make you understand better. This is a faster way to, there are, as I mentioned before, there are many different forms to do it. I'm giving you this one because this a step-by-step work, and doing it like this, we are combining a more, we are combining something that includes using ability, and also using it in a more pedagogical way, not just like train on something, right? Not like repetition. Well, it's part of the pedagogy, but it's still, you're trying to use a system that is going to help you. And before we go to number 3, I know Jesus has a question. Go ahead, go on, Jesus.
Okay, maybe it's pretty obvious question, but how to do it? It's like play some sentence and then stop, think about the one word and then play again, or
Yes.
or is continuously work with all the sentence.
Don't do it continuously, because then you're going to lose, the pedagogical will be lost. I mean, if you do it continuously, you are going to be working and concentrating only in the ability. But if you stop, go back to the same sentence and listen to the same sentence again for that second word, then we are adding in this learning part that is important to be added. This repetition will condition my second word of understanding, and this is important, because when I listen for the second time, I am forcing my mind to work and effort for that second word that makes the meaning. And as you know that you need to find one of the other two words that are not this one, that second time is important for you to redirect, to condition yourself to find the right word that makes the meaning. You must, why I'm not giving you, I mean, the third time is not to find the third word. Sometimes you say like, oh, you need to find the third word. No, because in a lot of the sentences, we only have 2 words, right? In a lot of the sentences, we only have maybe the verb and the noun. Or in other sentences, we have the adjective and the noun, but not the verb. See it? So that's why I'm not, the third point is different. I'm going to give you now the third point. So I'm only worried to find 2 of them. You don't have to find the 3 of them. This is done naturally later. I mean, naturally you will be able to detect more. But why I make you work with two? I make you work with 2 because in a lot of the sentences, we won't find the 3 elements together. The verb and the adjective and the noun, all those 3 together. In most sentences, we're going to find the noun and then the adjective, or the noun and then the verb, or the noun. In the least case, I mean, not a lot of sentences, in just a few sentences, actually, we are going to find the noun, the verb, and the adjectives, all those 3 together in the same sentence. It's very unlikely that this happens. It does, but that's why I make you concentrate only in 2. That's enough. That's enough, because you're going to be alternating. Different sentences have different keywords. I mean, different words to make meaning. You are going to be concentrating on those. because there are going to be just 3 of them. If we have the absence of one, the other 2 must be present. See it? Unless it's just a phrase. Sometimes you're going to find only a phrase that has only one noun, or maybe the noun and the adjective. That's just a phrase, and it may be too short, but it's okay. I mean, it's practice. You're going to dedicate enough time to this. And finally, what you need to do is you also need to become good at, in order to understand English better, sometimes, and the majority of us have trouble understanding compound nouns, understanding group of words. What is a compound noun? A compound noun is a word that can have 2 or 3 words. We concentrate on 2 or 3 words because in the IELTS, the maximum allowed words for answers are 3, like 2 words and 1 number or 3 words. That's why we just concentrate. Compound nouns can be like as many as 5 words for one thing, but actually we try to concentrate in like 2 or 3 words. A compound noun is a word that is composed by 2 or 3 words that are different one another, but together they have one meaning. For instance, I'm going to give you a compound noun. Sunday morning. Sunday is one word, morning is another, but together we can imagine what this would be. Sunday morning. Now I'm going to give you another word to make it like a compound noun with 3 words. Fun, Sunday morning. Fun, Sunday morning. All right, so now we have 3 words that are different from one another, but together have one meaning. Now, write down a couple of words that you consider are going to be compound noun. This is just to understand if you get this point, okay? So I want at least to see, it doesn't matter who, but everyone will learn from this. I like to see at least, let's say, like 5, 6 compound nouns. Write down compound nouns in the chat. I'm going to turn on the light. Just write compound nouns. And to have my drink. Full size, yes, a compound noun. Best friend ever, okay, that's a compound noun. It's got a more like, emotional part in this is a word like ever. That's the more emotional. It's okay. Another one. If you're not understanding or you still don't have a clear picture, an idea on what a compound noun will be, you have to let me know. I'm going to say, oh, I don't understand. You have to write. Andrea.
Mauricio, I have some problems sometimes with the thing that you already mentioned. I have done some listening tests in the IELTS something website.
Yeah.
Every time that when the options are no more than 3 words, usually I make a lot of mistakes because I do not know which words I have to choose. For instance, a yellow full-size coat, and you have to only choose 3 words. I get confused and I usually make mistakes in those exercises.
For the question, thank you for the question. And actually, we're going to see that now. Because it's like we have a question. Colo Colo. Who said Colo Colo is a who wrote there Colo Colo? Colo Colo is not a compound noun, okay? Just fine. Well, actually, Colo Colo is actually a name. It's a name.
Mauricio?
More money.
Mauricio, I have a question.
Yes.
It's about this compound noun. Is the composition of this compound noun? It's only nouns, or could be adjective and nouns, or which are the possibilities?
Very good, very good. For instance, when we say fun is an adjective, right? Because if you say, if I look at you, so this is the way to differentiate something, okay? Let us say that I'm going to close my eyes. I close my eyes and I think about any word. Good, good. I think, you know, good, but what can I imagine in my mind with the word good? What is the imagination? Nothing, right? I'm going to say another word, excellent, excellent. Can I imagine something in mind? Can I imagine something where the word is? Just close your eyes. Everyone close your eyes. Can I imagine something with the word excellent? Wonderful, wonderful. Can I imagine something specific? No, right? But wonderful house. I said the word house. Let us say the word house. House. Can we imagine something? Yes, we can. Yes, we can. Sunday, can we imagine something? Yes, we can. Dog, university, television set, website. Can we imagine? Yes, we can imagine. All the things that I said, we could imagine, right? But if I say words that are more likely to be characteristics, can I imagine them? No, I can't. Therefore, when we, this is the best way to find which is, if you are not sure that the word that you are using is adjective or noun, just close your eyes and try to imagine it. Close your eyes when you are not driving, when you are not using any machinery at all, and close your eyes when it's safe to close your eyes. I have to be responsible to say this, but I have to say it. So this is the way to find if the word is noun or not a noun. If you just close your eyes and say the word and you cannot imagine it, it's probably not a noun. It's just something that it needs another word. And that next word is actually the noun. For instance, fun, Sunday, morning. That's it. So that can be between that compound noun can have two different words, two different grammar words together, of course. Yes, it's figure something out. Yeah, figure something out. There you go. We have one. What actually figure out is a phrasal verb. So that's one. It's a compound noun, of course. It's a compound, but not a noun. It's to figure out. It's a phrasal verb. It's a part of another part of English, but still figure something out. You got three words all there together. Seafood, airport. Yes, those are words together there, but seafood goes together. Airport, airport. You know, airport. Because sometimes it's like, what does airport mean? So it's a port, but it's airport. I don't know how that got, you know.
But this is one word or compound? One word. And what I see is we have no verbs in this compound. No, we have adjectives and we have different objects and subjects, but we have no verbs.
Well, verbs that compound are usually more descriptive than just regular life, like decreasing tendency. Then you have a verb. Actually, not exactly a verb.
It's not a verb, it's like an adjective in this case, no?
There you go. But let me finish, okay?
Okay.
To decrease is a verb.
Mm-hmm.
Out from decreasing as a verbal noun, a descriptive ing form of a verbal noun will not be actually a verb, but a verbal noun. Together with the word that is tendency is going to convert itself into an adjective. So it has already two transformations, right? From verb to a verbal noun and from a verbal noun to a adjective. A verb to a, no, actually you're right. I don't find any. I'm trying to think.
Yeah, because when you have a verb, what you really make is a sentence, no? Because you have something, an action, and an object, but it's difficult to me to imagine a compound noun with a verb because immediately I think in a sentence, something.
You're right.
Rainfall. Rainfall, it's a compound noun with a verb noun, right? Rainfall.
Yes, but it's only one word.
But a compound noun, it has to be with 2 words.
At least.
Ah, okay.
We have a lot of words in English that are already put together. That's the way English, like compound nouns in this case, we're like, we try to find why. We try to find compound nouns to work with compound nouns. Why? Not, it's just because we want to become more effective when we have to write the answers, when we have to understand what we are listening to. Now, this, I'm trying not to get, see, I need to try to concentrate in IELTS. That's my idea. This can take different turns, right? But many of those turns are not going to be IELTS. So that's why we need to just, stay, in the IELTS side of this. Yes, however, rainfall is just one word. What we need to find is like 2 or 3 words. Or 2 words and 1 number. This is what we have to actually concentrate in. That's something that, see, it will be useless to try to give too many variations of this, because then we are not going to be thinking IELTS. What we need to do is try to think IELTS. Then the rest of it is for English class. Right now is to think specifically on what? On listening to those sentences again. See, listen to the sentence again. And this is very funny because it's going to produce the following. Listen to the sentence again. So you need to listen to the sentence 3 times. Listen to the sentence again to find compound nouns. Compound nouns. That's it. Find compound nouns. A very important
Mauricio, I have a question.
answers. Just a second. A very important percentage of the answers are compound nouns. Just take a look at the answers of your test, of your practice test. Take a look at the answers. How many compound nouns are answers? 7, 8, 9. Almost is over 20. Over 20, around 20, or over 20% of your test answers are compound nouns. This third aspect will really complement your better understanding. And why we put it right here? We put it right here because the compound noun is actually a noun. So in order to understand sometimes the noun that is important in the sentence that can be also your answer is noun. So compound nouns, a compound noun could be the answer. That is why it's important to work in these compound nouns. You might find out that when you are in number 2, you already find that the compound noun is actually the word that you were looking for. This is also going to increase your capacity. I mean, this is going to be much better even, because it's going to make you really work on something specific. And these are the 3 steps that you must follow in order to increase your understanding better the meaning of sentences. We are trying to work on understanding better the meaning of a sentence. Questions?
The compound noun is just 1 word or 2? O sea, I mean in the test, if I write it.
No, literally there are 2 or 3 words. 2 or 3
So
words.
that counts like 2 words. So
2 words.
Okay.
Or fun Sunday morning is 3 words. The meaning, what we imagine out of this is only one thing. The meaning is only one. Don't worry with compound nouns that have more than 3 words. Don't worry about those because they're not IELTS anymore. In IELTS, we don't respond 4 words. No, it's like 3 words. So don't worry about more. Concentrate in this work, but concentrate, focus on IELTS. That's what we have to keep the concentration. Okay.
And the noun can be accompanied by a noun and by a verb, by an adjective, all of them, or
Yes. Any combination that is going to make us let us check this. Let us check. Looking for the, if I can find it, let me look for the I know I have it, but I have to find it. My goodness. I got 1 trillion things in my life. I compound now. I don't have it here. What are we looking for actually? No, I don't find it. I'm gonna look for that later. What I'm saying is, I was looking for the actual scripts, but no, I don't have the scripts. I'm sure that Nicole has the scripts. Let me see very quickly. Where are the scripts? Because if we look at the scripts, it's going to be actually better. Too many things. All right. Oh, okay, there we have a script here. All right, this is an IELTS script. Let us check on it. Okay, this is a script from an official test. Recorded transcript. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. On the summer kids camp. Summer kids camp. That's 3 words, and that's a compound noun. It's nice to see some familiar faces. Compound noun here.
Familiar faces.
Familiar faces, right? So faces is a noun, and familiar,
Adjective.
adjective.
of course, is right before the noun. Therefore, it's automatically an adjective, right? Another one here. See, we have one more that is very obvious.
Last year.
Last year. That's another compound noun, right? Let's hope that this year's camp is as much fun for the kids as last year. Okay, we know last year. Is something else here?
It's a year's camp.
Yeah, probably year's camp is one thing because it's putting the objective in only one thing. Okay, in our orientation program this morning, we will introduce you to, okay, so
Orientation program.
orientation program. See it? Very good. Let us see. In this sentence, very quickly, where is the compound noun?
Accommodation.
Accommodation officer.
Very good. Very good. Well, nothing. Where's the compound? Oh, where's the compound noun here?
Individual training.
Training sessions. I don't know if training sessions or in the
In physical education?
Yes, also. Yes, physical education.
Okay.
Individual training sessions. And that's why I like to make a point. If the answer was focused on that, probably the answer will not be training session. The answer would be individual training session. We are missing that part of the compound noun. That is why, and that is important to do this exercise. That will make you be more accurate. That will make you understand better and actually help us to separate the audition system. Now, I'm going to give you a piece of information that is quite important for you to know. And this is for the sake of actually knowledge more than ability. We are working with the same sentence for the following reason. Our audited perception needs to just have the same kind of input in order to make differences between the elements of that input. I don't know if I express with all, but why do we listen to the same sentence again? We listen to the same sentence again and not to a different sentence, but because my audition needs to have the same layout to separate the things properly. And the only way that we can do this is to do it separately. But all this is going to compound better as the time goes, and the more practice we have, our audition will not need anymore to do this separately. Our audition will start working on identifying these things together, only one time, not in 3 times. Therefore, and I'm not going to tell you, don't do this now. Don't do this now. First, this. In 2 more weeks or 3 more weeks, when you find that this is giving you good results and you are understanding actually better, and you are getting 2 or 3 more questions correct in the practice of the listening, and you are increasing that 0.5, the next step is to work on this together. I don't know if we're going to listen to the sentence only one time. When you listen to the sentence one time, you need to find the 3 elements all together in the same sentence. That's the second step. But don't start doing this now. I mean, don't start working on this now, because we're going to be missing a very important part of information here and the practice. But to let you know, for whatever reason I'm not here, or for whatever reason in 2 more weeks, you feel that you are ready for the next step and you've done this and you feel that this is okay with you and you're just pretty much comfortable. Oh, I want to go to the next step. Well, actually remember that the first Friday of the next month will be November. Wow. It's like, you remember that first Fridays, there are no classes. In the first Friday of the month, there's no class. Why did we do the class this Friday? I mean, the previous Friday, because I was just coming out of vacation. So it's, oh, I want another Friday for free. No, just because of vacations. Okay. So, and I'll give you the word, Rodrigo, right now. The next step out of this is to work only with one sentence, and you don't do this 3 times. You do this only 1 time, and you need to find the 3 elements the first time. It's like, oh, that's the adjective. I mean, that's the characteristic, the action. That's the main object of the sentence. You need to work doing only once. That's the next step out of this. This is first for 3 weeks. And then after this is do all this only 1 time. 1 sentence, you need to find the 3 elements. Super cool. Very entertaining. Rodrigo,
Thank you, Mauricio. I have a question. Meanwhile, I'm practicing this. What should I do? Should I continue practicing with the test, or I should put my focus just on this? And the second, ask.
Understand fully. That's something that I should have explained. Well, actually, I think I was going to explain it now, but of course, I could have explained this before, but it doesn't really matter. Now, I'm going to explain this one more time. Yes, I have that question. So the 3rd time, when we listen for the 3rd time, we need to try to find if in that sentence that we just listened, in this sentence that we're working with, right? We need to listen for the 3rd time. And the 3rd time, we need to try to detect and find if there is any compound noun. Maybe you are going to find the compound noun the 2nd time you listen to it. That's okay. So that's enough for me. So what you need to do when you listen for the 3rd time is to try to find in one of those words, there are going to be like 2 or 3 words that are going to be together, that are compound nouns. For instance, let us write this. Last night, my air conditioner, my air conditioning system was not working. Number one. Anyone. Number one.
Air conditioner.
You, the same. Not you already answered, so nobody else can answer right now. The second word.
Working.
Stop right there. Good. Noun. So it's complying with it. Second word, working, verb. So we are in the right track. When you look into this sentence again, are you missing something in this second word? In order to
Not
be
working.
And this is the word that you need to do. You need to find, oh, working, but it's really working, or
That's not working. Right.
not working. Okay. This few details, the single small details will make a lot of difference when you really need to understand faster and more accurately. Just working on those details, oh, actually not working. Now you are working on something specific that is going to actually help you in the future. Now you're going to become better in the future at looking or getting those details that you're missing for some reason. Because like working is totally the opposite of not working. So that's good. So, okay, so we got the 2. Now, anything else? Now, Rodrigo doesn't have to go to step number 3 because he already found the air conditioning. That is a compound noun. But when we're looking into that, see, you have the script, you have the transcript. You need to do listenings that have a transcript because you need to check those things sometimes. All right. Is now Rodrigo missing something else here in the compound noun?
Last night.
System.
No.
System.
System.
Yes.
Is air conditioning system. Air conditioner can be only one because it's the air conditioner, just the one box. But actually the air conditioning, this needs another words, right? So it's like it's serving that in, that conditioning is actually serving to as an adjective to the final word, which is actually a system. So it's like the air conditioning system not working. Accuracy. And this is actually improved with this exercise. That worked. You can see, you're welcome. But the most important is you know what it is right now. Now you are having a tool that is giving you the elements that you need to make it progress, to actually condition your audition to focus on the right things that you need to focus. And after 2 or 3 weeks, this would start becoming more natural. And when it does, wonderful. And if it doesn't, you must tell me. You need to let me know because we need to find what is happening. We need to find if along the way, when you are doing this, you are not understanding something, you are missing some piece of information from here, or actually you're doing wrongly. Now, and this is where I have to actually pay attention to myself. All this time that we have used to explain this, all this work, my question is, do you get it? Do you understand 3 things? what you need to do, why you have to do this, and the differences between these 3 steps. Did you understand those 3 points? If you understand these 3 points, all this time that we have spent on doing this is worth it. If you don't understand, I need to explain you again, because you really need to understand why you are doing it. You need to understand what you have to do. And finally, the differences between why you do this first, why you do this second, and why you do this third. Is this understood? Yes or not? Yes or not?
Yes.
Okay. I was going to work on, that's crazy, but truly, of course, that I just projected very wrongly. I thought that today we were going to have enough time to go over the 6 aspects that I wanted to talk about the listening, but we just covered 1. This is only 1. This is only 1 of the 6. So I was talking with Nicole this morning. I said, like, oh, what are you going to do today? Oh, I'm just going to work on 6 aspects. Of what are they? Well, actually this and this and this and that. And then she comes and like say, don't you think it's a little bit too much? I said, like, don't you think you're going to really? Maybe, but I think I can make it. But just 1. Like, okay, so next class, we're going to have to insist a little more in some of the listening aspects because there were 6 things that I needed to see today. And we just got only 1. I mean, that's so we still need to see a lot more for the listening. Well, what I concentrated today is actually an exercise that is going to make you understand meaning better, because we see that understanding meaning is something that we have to work. So next class, we're going to go over this again. Now we are going to, so next class, we're going to go over the listening again, but we are going to see a few more. I don't know if you're going to see all those 6 other aspects, okay? Remember that we are not working on strategies. You already learned, or you are going to learn the strategies. If you are just starting your course, you're going to learn them later. But if you already did your course, you already went through them. So you can realize that these are not strategies. This is a complementary work that is going to strengthen, that is going to give more muscle to your strategy. I'm not making you to, or encouraging you to forget the strategy. Not at all. I mean, the strategy is first. This is later. This will complement your strategy. Okay? It's going to shape you in a better way within the mechanic that you use with the strategy. So all what we're doing right now, and a few more points that we see next Friday, let's see how much we can get ahead. But we'll see we see each other every Friday, so it's not a problem. We'll see it. We'll do it next Friday. So I know that you understand. I know that sometimes I go too long. I just talk too much about one thing. Yes, because I need to make sure that all those students that are here in this list understand this, and they start working on this. Now, then you have 1 or 2 weeks in which you are going to get back to me and say, oh, this is working. No, this is not working. Or maybe next Friday already, some of you will say, I started doing the work and I found out this. I found out that I was making this mistake. I found out that I was not paying attention to this thing. I found out that I was not good for compound nouns. I found out that, see, or I will listen to other news that you would say, I find that I understand better this thing now. I find that I understand better now the listening in these aspects better. It's because it's working. Whatever question you have out of this work is because something is happening. If you do this and nothing happens, then there is something wrong. If you do this and you feel that something is happening, positive or negative, it's because it's working. So we need to either potentiate it more, and if it is not working, we need to change it. That's why the other things that we saw, we were just going to start complementing them next class. Yes.
Sorry. I should practice this looking the sentence or just listening.
Just listening.
Okay. Okay. Meanwhile, I practice this. I should make tests or
Certainly, yes. Now, I can recommend something. During 1 week, do this only, right? For instance, start doing this tomorrow and finish on Thursday, right? Thursday. And Friday morning, or whenever you have time on Friday, do your listening, right? Do one listening test and then feedbacks. Give us some feedback on Friday night to see if, what differences we could. Okay, maybe 1 week is not enough, right? But in 1 week, you still can say that some things are starting to work. For some reason, you are getting better in that understanding. In 1 week, it should. It should. We'll see it sometimes in 3 days. It starts just giving results or making you feel better, more comfortable, more accurate, more confident, more in control, to say the least. So why don't we do that? I mean, it's like start working. You owe me some homework. I'm waiting for that.
Yes, Mauricio, yes. I'm gonna send you now because I was trying to get more vocabulary and stuff like that in order to improve.
I'm reminding you, we have a deal, and I I'm in charge of that. So when I see that I don't receive what, so I have to tell you. It's like, okay, hey,
Yes.
don't forget
You're
your
right.
don't forget
No,
your
yes, thank you.
Okay.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Because yes, I know, but I'm reminding you because of what we talked. All right. Okay, so that now give yourself then this week. I mean, anyone, any of you can do this, and next Friday share their results and their comments. Not only Rodrigo, I mean anyone, all of you can just do the, oh, I did this and I got this insights, or I did this and my results improved, or went worse, whatever. No, it's not gonna be worse. It will never be worse. You can keep it in the way that it is, or you can improve. These are the two only things that can happen. It cannot happen otherwise, impossible. I mean, working on something specific, you can get it worse. Now, but let us see if 1 week was enough. My experience, I can see that this starts working on the 2nd week of practice, on the 3rd week of practice. Usually on the 3rd week, you are going to be ready to work only with one sentence and try to apply all these 3 only one time. But we can see that detail in the next class, maybe. All right. Very good. Now we need to go to the speaking practice. So far, so good.